Hi everyone. Today I'm going to go over how I shade my work. I don't really do anything that complicated. There are a lot of good tutorials out there. One especially is on tanglepatterns.com, which I'll put the link in the notes. There is also a really great book called Made in the Shade, a Zentangle workbook by Chris Letourneau. I hope I'm saying that right. Really nice exercises to go through, a lot of cool tips, very much worth having in your library. I use a Zentangle pencil. This is probably the equivalent of a 2B. It's softer lead, it's not a harder lead, and it's easy to blend. I also use a tortillon, or you could use a blending stump, you could use a Q-tip, you could use your finger. I just bought a new pack of tortillons, and they're just little paper cones that help you blend and get in places. This is a piece I wanted to show you because when I made this, there were areas of it that I wanted to bring forward and create shadow. So this leaf, I wanted it to stand out, so I blended around, I shaded around it, and these little parts that went in, I wanted them to appear to be in shadow, so I made them darker. So if you're really looking at pieces, or you want something to come to the foreground and you want something to recede, that's where shading can help you out. I'm just going to go over my little book here, some pieces I haven't had time to shade yet, and I'll just show you what I do. I'm just going to go over the sections of this pattern because I want people to see them. I want them to stand out. So I'll just lay down a little bit of pencil. I tend to work with a more rounded tip, and I'll come back in and I'll blend that. So now you can see the sections really stand out. They're not flat like they were before. And because I want this to pop a little bit, I'm going to shade around it because I want it to appear to be in front of these patterns. And then I'll blend around that. The 2B pencil, you can erase it. So if you put down some shading that you're not really happy with, just go ahead and erase it. I use a white eraser. Long time ago I was told for white paper use a white eraser. I don't know how true that is. So on this pattern, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of shade the parts of it that I want to stand out. Some patterns, when I shade them, it's because I want the light to sort of appear to be coming from a different direction. It really is, I think, a matter of personal preference, especially on drawings like this, because this isn't a landscape. This isn't something that you have to really show any perspective as far as what direction the sun was shining. And I do want this to pop out from this pattern behind it because it blends in here. This part of this star, really you can't see it. And sometimes, even after I've blended something, I might go back in and just make that pencil line a little darker and leave it. I won't even go in with a blending stump and blend it. because I want it to be a heavy line. I want it to stand out. I forgot to do that. I think when you shade, it makes your pieces have more depth and they don't appear flat. And it gives it a little oomph. That's why I do it. I gotta stop saying Anyway, I think you watch my videos not for my talking. I just think the shading made this little piece here just jump off the page. Some places you may not want to have a lot of shading in, so you can go in with a lighter line just to bring out the pattern. And I would go in lighter. I know I haven't because I kind of have a heavy hand, but you could always put more shading in. It's a lot easier to do that than just have to go in and erase what you don't like. But this definitely has a lot more definition than it did when I started. Some patterns to me are, I don't know, I don't see them the same all the time. So I might shade them differently every time I do them. This, I want these puffs to show. So it's really what you want to see in your drawings, your doodles, your Zentangles. What you want to stand out. Don't be afraid to experiment. The book Made in the Shade has a lot of great exercises on pencil control and things that I won't get into here. Sometimes I will actually go in and shade the space around a pattern because maybe I don't want to fiddle with the pattern. And I think one of the important things about shading is you really don't want to show your pencil lines too much. So that's why the blending stump for me. That's just a few of the techniques I use. This is nothing engraved in stone, and there are so many tutorials out on YouTube and the internet. For you to explore. I will definitely put the links down for that 2-part tutorial in tanglepardons.com. It's a really great one to watch, and it really does get you started. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.